Admire people. That wasn't it. Copy link. I forgot to hit copy. There we go. Okay. Now, Dale, Judith, Taylor, yay! Oh, I'm so excited. Thank you. I've been in a bad mood for like a couple of days now, so I needed this. And I got to get Word's office hours back up and running. That's the other thing that I need to do. So that is aiming for Monday afternoons, I think. I think today. Franco! Hello, Franco. How is everyone else? How are you doing? Sarah, hello. I can't figure out what the hell to do with my hair. Can I ask a question that may take 2 comments? Yeah, ask away. That's why we're here, is to answer questions. $2,000 in on your new work in progress. Yay! Awesome as always. Yee! I'm so glad. Almost done with re-editing Bloodstains. Switching the tenses is a pain in the rump. Oh, it is. Oh, it is. That's why that's one of those decisions that the earlier in the process you do it, the better, for that reason. Yes, you can always change your mind. I will never tell you it's set in stone. But the earlier in the process you decide you have to change, the better. Because it is so hard to make that switch. $10,006 new books later, I'm finally on the edits for Space Indie 2. Yay! I'm drinking tea out of my This Is My Real Job mug. Oh, yay! Starts rewriting book because writes a chapter that basically changes good chunk of the rest of the book. Wow. Okay, I wrote a part I have to take out because I messed everything up. But taking it out is causing me to not want to write the book anymore because it is a long scene that took a lot of time. How do you push back past this? Take it out and put it into another document. Just because you spent, okay, so first of all, Taylor, just because you spent a long time making a mistake, which you have described this as a mistake, just because you spent a long time making a mistake does not mean that you should hang on to it. If getting rid of that chunk fixes your book, then that's the most important thing, right? So number 1, don't hang on to a mistake just because you committed so much time to having the mistake. Number 2, don't delete it. Move it into another document. Maybe it's a scene for another book. I don't know. If it doesn't work in this book, there is a good chance it could work in a whole other book. So leave it aside, label it as scene whatever, doc X. And if another book comes up and you all of a sudden you're like, hey, I could use that scene, then you just tweak, change the characters around and use the scene. It may not work for this book. That's fine. Doesn't have to. Did I do marijuana today? No. It's also, it had both present and past. It's like, pick one. Dale, pick one. There are new books on the Who Wants to Write a Book Amazon wish list. Ooh, I have not checked, so thank you. I got my Facebook children's author page sorted today and made a sale. It was an old work friend who bought one of my books for her daughter. Oh, yay! Tiptoes into the comments. Hi, Farah. Advice for beginners. Hello, Miranda. Farah, I did actually think of you this weekend. Not enough to actually create the video. It is on my list this week, though. But enough to feel really guilty that I haven't gotten there yet, even though I hadn't seen it. So I did think of... Missy has 3 books out. Oh, I knew one. Oh, yay, 3? Holy cow. I think putting it in for another book may help. That way it doesn't feel like a waste. Yeah. And even if it never happens, Taylor, it was still a good experience for you. Right now you're experiencing the editing, but writing the scene still helped you develop your voice. It still helped you develop the book. Just because it ended up being the wrong scene for the book you were writing in, it doesn't mean you didn't learn for it. So it's not a whole waste anyway. Tooth Fairy novella publishes tomorrow. So many books. Yee! Seisha! 4 kids' books? What took her so long? And then she starts pumping out 4 books in like 2 weeks. Hello, Jessica. I'm not going anywhere, and thank you for the information about your class. You're very welcome. I can't do office hours on Mondays because y'all do Unf Your Story on Mondays. Crap. I have to think of something. Okay, because I'm not available in the early afternoons anymore. It has to be in the afternoons. Which is why I was going to be like, yeah, 2:30 on Mondays is perfect. Because it's right after Christopher gets home, but it's before Piper gets home. Well, I guess Thursdays. Thursdays. You're trying to figure everything out. I trust you. Can we move the Unf Your Story? I don't know, only because so many of the people who go to that one aren't on, and hi, Missy, aren't on the Discord all the time. Like they spend most of their time, some of them still spend most of their time on Clubhouse, not on the Discord. So I think it would screw up all their schedules. Pretty dragon egg. Thank you. My son tried to steal it. Can you believe that? So, it's so pretty, right? Someone sent this to me, and inside is this 3D printed dragon, who is also so pretty, right? And the box that it came in, I already threw the box away. The box that it came in was like this, you know, light, kind of light blue, with dinosaurs, like illustrations, like cartoon dinosaurs all over it. So Christopher immediately was like, that's for me. Cartoon dinosaurs, mine. And I was like, no, I don't think it's for you. Let me open the box. And I opened the box, and it was the dragon egg with the dragon in it. And he went, yeah, see, I like dragons. That's for me. And I was like, no, it's not. And then he stole it like 3 times and brought it up to his room and was like reading stories to it and stuff. And I had to go up and like steal it back. He's like, that's for me. Right? The colors came out like, they're so nice. I didn't even know you could do all this with 3D. Now I want a 3D printer. But yeah, it came out so nice. It's like this red onyx color. It's so pretty. They did a good job. I'd steal it too, and I'm not a child. I don't want a 3D printer, but I do. That's my problem, is I do. Oh, you have one? Oh, I'm jealous. Okay, how do I put you back in now? Christopher was able to get you back in. Naomi Targaryen. You don't. It collects dust. Oh, okay. I do need 2 more. Normal printers are already evil. Oh, I know. I had to replace mine. I've had the same one for like, I don't know, 11 years. And my cats have broken it because they perch on top and they've broken the tray where the paper goes in. Anyway, so I got a new one that's like kind of cheap over the weekend. And I'm like, it was... I'm so old, y'all. I was like, I guess I can cancel the landline now, because this is the first printer I've ever had, that didn't have a fax machine on it. I'm like, what? Well, I shouldn't say ever, because the printer, okay, so my first printer was like one of those, whatchamacallits, with like the continuous paper, and it had the tracks on the side you had to like rip off. That was my first printer. And I had that one for eons. And then I switched to an HP printer, I don't know how many years ago. But anyway, since then, I've had like 2 until this one. Like dot matrix, that's the one. And that one worked really well for a good long time until I needed to start printing from my phone. That was when I was like, okay, I guess I'll get a new printer. Until you couldn't get the paper, yeah. They lasted forever, though. Momentum is so much easier than starting over. Today I start over, let the revision begin. Yes! Gonna wind up with a collection of dragons like Jessica. I am. And I'm okay with that. I love dragons. And this is the year of the dragon. It's my year. I am a dragon. In fact, I've been saying for a while now that like my Cancer keeps screwing up my dragon because I'm a dragon. But also like my Western zodiac sign is a Cancer. And they don't always mesh. I found a small ream of dot matrix paper at a thrift shop, never opened. It's probably worth a fortune now. Probably not a fortune, but it's probably like wild. You're a sheep in a Cancer. Bought it for kicks and giggles. Yeah. You're kind of depressed. Oh no. I'm sorry. That is so hard. I have been fighting with my own depression for weeks. My secret thoughts. Every time y'all talk about writing your blurbs, I think, how do y'all do that? Witchcraft. It must be witchcraft. Yeah. Yeah, that's about it. My husband gave me a manual typewriter and I immediately bought some onion skin paper on eBay. Onion skin paper? And like that typewriter? They have some nice ones on eBay. Are we all Cancers? Found out the ribbon was rotted and the reel is stuck. Oh no! I think there's like vintage typewriter shops though where you can get ribbon. I love it that you're so kind. Well, we all need more. Stares in Leo. So we are not all Cancers is what you're saying, Taylor. Just to be clear in my brain here, the blurb is the back of the book, right? Correct. Depending on what you put on the back of the book. It's either the back of the book or sometimes, and for whatever reason lately, people are putting that blurb on their Amazon page. So it can be both. And then I'm even seeing some where they write the blurb on the Amazon page and then the back of the book is all just endorsements. So, but yeah, traditionally it's the back of the book. You're an Aries married to a Cancer. Aries, Pisces. My daughter's a Pisces. Cancer by proxy. I want my Genius typewriter because I have frustrated memories learning to type on it. Oh, Capricorn. He's probably made me nicer. No, Aries are go-getters. They're kind of bulldozers, actually. So maybe he did make you nicer. He's like, whoa. Sagittarius. The last day of Cancer. So kind of like in between Scorpio, but was supposed to be Sagittarius. Piper is Pisces, but was supposed to be Aries because she came out early. Talking about zodiac signs, do you think that movies and others use the zodiacs to create their characters? I think some of the best ones might. I'm not sure entirely because there's so many different personality quizzes and personality like descriptions out there. So I think the best ones choose something. They might choose zodiac. They might choose Myers-Briggs. They might choose Enneagram. They might choose all of them and put them all together into like one very complete profile. Taking the commonalities out of each one. But like, I think the best ones do something. I don't know what precisely, because that only they do. But I think the best ones do. Myers-Briggs. I wanted to call it the INTJ because that's not right. That's not the name of the quiz, Naomi. My mom went traveling through a horrible snowstorm from Ohio to Connecticut and wondered why I came early. Oof. Help me, Naomi, thinking alike. Yes. Did y'all see the damage the tornado in Nebraska did? I did. I'm just so glad that it wasn't worse. Mind melded with Seisha. Yes, that's what we did, as a matter of fact. When I met her on Clubhouse, I was like, come here. And I reached through the phone, and I can't do it on myself, obviously, because it's too powerful. But you were late. All of your children were late, even the twins. I don't know what I was. I think I was on time. Use your powers for good. I think I was on time, but both of my kids were early. Both of my kids were like just at the full term mark. It's considered full term at 37 weeks. They try to get you to 40. And with both of my kids, they came at like right at this day is 37 weeks. Ow! Claws! You do not need to hang on to me. I don't want you on my lap. No, I'm mad at you. Go. No. All right, come on. Say hello to Brizzo. Our school is changing school hours next year from 7:30 to 3:45 to 8:20 to 2:30. Interesting. Why is she so mad? Sweet floof. Yes. She's just, God. Okay, could you put your butt down? Just lay down. She's been very demanding lately. She's graduating this year. Yeah, but why is she mad? I'd be psyched if that were my senior schedule. Like, all right. Hello. Hi, good morning. Ow. Ow. You'd be mad too? They couldn't Oh, she's mad that she's missing it. I gotcha. Well, yeah. I don't know why in my head I was thinking she was going to be a senior next year. So I was like, why is she mad? She likes school that much. You're in your 7th year of school? Interesting. Could you put your butt down? Thank you. Just look, no more claws, no more kneading, okay? You're so sweet. I love you. Stop it. You were thinking that too. Yeah, that's why I was like, why is she mad? I'd be psyched. Name of my cat. This one is Brizzo. And the other one, who is around somewhere, the monster, is Mona. Well, I mean, technically her name is Harmonia. That's what the shelter named her. But we call her Mona. She graduates next month. Shut up. She was born like 10 minutes ago. And I know that because Miranda's was born like 5 minutes ago. God, you are so... Could you just lay down, huh? This is why I like it when Mona's on my lap. Because you just want to play, and Mona just wants to slug. Ew. Extra words there. I've already been told multiple times I'm an adult now. I think I know what I'm doing. And I say, okay, see when you were ready to tell me I was right. To be fair, I hear that from my 10-year-old, so I think I know what I'm doing, Mom. Okay. I found out my little cousin, I remember when she was born, just got married with a kid on the way. Oh my gosh. We started calling Yuko Shadow because she follows me everywhere, so I call her Yuko Cage, but I feel like Shadow is going to stick. It's those little, yeah, those are the ones that stick, absolutely. She Googled something I told her, and she said, I'm not saying you were right, but you may have not been wrong. See, this one doesn't like sitting on my lap. She always wants me to hold her like a baby. So she always tries to like climb my stomach. It's very sweet, but my God, I need my hands for other things too. Do you know how hard it is to type like this? All right, come on. It's enough. Oh, now you're stuck? Okay. Come on. Oof. All right, I love you. Come on. There you go. There you go. Very sweet. Okay, you got lots of lovin's. All right. I need coffee, and you're back. Dictation. Yeah. You all need to get over the fact that I have an overactive muse. I want to make content, but then I feel like I should be writing. Okay, so Franco, have I ever talked to you about how I do time management? Do you have to pay editors before you get a manuscript feedback? Usually, yes. It does depend on the editor, but if you're just looking, okay, Kitty, you are not even letting me situate myself. All right, but I'm not going to hold you anymore. You can lay on my lap, okay? I need my hands to drink my coffee, okay? I think that's fair. So if all you're doing is getting a critique, then usually, yeah. And it's usually 100% upfront. Like there's no 50% deposit or anything like that. The editor will usually be like, okay, I'll do that. It's going to cost X, X number of dollars or whatever it is. I think the average for a manuscript critique used to be right around $250. I think that has fluctuated a bit. And I mean, it does depend a lot, obviously, on the genre and on the length of the manuscript and stuff. But basically what you're having them do is critically review your manuscript and suggest some of the more major changes that you would then give your editor. So, okay, oh my God, cat, stop. So yeah, they're not going to send you a whole critique of your manuscript unless you've paid them up front, usually. Now, the difference is that sometimes if you're hiring an editor to edit your book, they'll usually include some kind, depending on the editor, some kind of a critique in there. And those editors, sometimes it'll be a deposit up front, sometimes it'll be like installments, things along those lines. So they don't always require full payment up front. But if the only service you're hiring them for is for a critique, you're usually paying up front. Pretty sure my muse quit and didn't tell me. She just walked out. No on the time management. Okay, so get paper. Oh, cat. You are seriously hurting me. Stop. Okay, so time management. Time management. The way that I handle time management, have paper. Good. Okay. T is your target. So take a few minutes to define how you want your career as an author to look in 3 to 5 years. This is fluid. You're not boxing yourself in. You're not making yourself any promises that you may or may not keep. This is fluid, but take a few minutes to define it and decide, you know what, in 5 years, I want to have at least 5 books out. I want to be speaking on stages, and I want to be helping other authors get their stuff out, whatever. So then the first 1 to 3 tasks on your daily to-do list are directly to that target. What does that mean? That might be your writing time to get into your book. That might be your editing time. That might be working on your author brand a little bit. That might be, whatever. And they don't have to be like whole big things. I'm not saying you have to finish that book. What I'm saying is the first 1 to 3 tasks. That could be a 20-minute sprint. That could be a logo. That could be creating an email list. Not even doing the email yet, but just creating the list. So it's just a task. The next is income. And with this one, you're going to take a minute to figure out your financial needs. If you're under immediate financial strain, you got rent coming up due or something like that, then what can you do? What tasks can you do to bring in immediate money? If you're not facing financial strain, then what can you do that will bring in money in the next month or two? Okay, so this might mean posting on Facebook that you have a book out for sale. This might mean selling, so like if it's immediate, then it might mean selling a book or merch, right? If it's not immediate, then it might mean working a little bit more on your email newsletter because that'll bring you money down the road, okay? It might mean setting up your store on your website, or it might mean entering into a couple of contests and seeing if they will pay you, because down the road, because those usually take a few months, right? So income. Next is management. This is 1 to 3. So the next 1 to 3 tasks are tasks that handle your behind the scenes, your infrastructure. This is usually like email response handling, or it can mean scheduling content. It can mean like going and curating content, taking photos for your social media posts, or it could mean writing blog posts. It can mean like anything that's behind the scenes. It can also mean, for those of you who are there, like doing the automations. Like, what do you do now? Let's say for email. I have one client who is able to save like 6 hours out of her entire week, because what she was doing was she put out a lead magnet, and it was a Google form. No problem. She put out a form. It was a Google form. Fill out this form and I will send you this free book, right? It was a Google form. And then at the end of the day, after work, she was taking those emails and manually sending them the ebook. So under management, it was, we're going to put that on an autoresponder now, so that they're filling out a form on MailerLite, and then MailerLite sends them the ebook. And it was like 6 hours that she saved, because she would get home from work and manually send it out. And that's okay. If that's what you have to start with, there's nothing wrong with that. Email marketing providers cost money, and she went with, no cost. But that's something that falls under management, something to help streamline and integrate your processes. And then the last one is excitement. So with this one, the last 1 to 2 items every day, try to make sure they're things that are like thrilling and exciting and you're passionate about, because you're not going to leave them off. If you go through target and income and excitement, and then it's the end of the day and you're tired, you're not going to do the management. You're not going to be like, oh, well, let me go ahead and automate this thing real quick. Or, oh, let me see if let me do a tool audit and make sure that I'm on the best tools. You're not going to do it because you're going to be too tired. But if you go through target income management, and then you're like, oh man, but I just had this really great book idea that I want to work on, that I'm really excited about, so I want to do another writing sprint, you'll do that because you're really excited and passionate about it. So this way you get to end your day on a high note, rather than frustrated because software or frustrated because money. So this way you get to start knowing that no matter what happens, if your whole day derails, you're at least 1 to 3 steps closer to your ultimate vision for your career. And the whole rest of the day derails, okay, you're still closer. And then you've got your income and your behind the scenes management settled a little bit, as much as you can in one, just a few tasks each. And then you get to end on something you're really excited about, you're really passionate about, and you get to end on a high note. So if these two screw up your mood, there's a good shot that this one will fix your mood right before you're done for the day. What? No whiteboard? My whiteboard is over there and my cat won't let me reach it. And I have another whiteboard over there, but my cat won't let me reach it. So yes, I'm sorry. You got stuck with a regular paper. Not the whiteboard. It feels weird without the whiteboard. I know, right? Everyone all of a sudden, no whiteboard. Ow! It's 8:28 p.m. there and you still haven't eaten dinner. Oh no! No hate, just confused. She's not using it. It's just out of reach. My cat. It's Brizzo's fault. I have all the whiteboards now. My eldest son walked into my writing room and said, oh no, did a high school teacher throw up in here? I even wrote notes on my fish tank because I ran out of room on my whiteboards. Oh my goodness. Kitty's stubbornness. I know. And now she's just sitting here like, you love being British. Well, that's good. But Francois, does that help? When I switched to that concept a couple of years ago, and it really started helping me with my anxiety. Doesn't necessarily help me get more done, but it does help me with a couple of things. It helps me with my anxiety because I know I'm getting closer to where I want to be, and I get to end most days on a high note. And it did help me a little bit with like certain things, because certain things just fall off the wayside. Building your blog, as an example, it's just one of those things that it's so easy to shove off the back burner because it's not paying rent, especially at the beginning. So it's easy to just kind of shove it right off the back burner in favor of, I need to post this thing, or I need to finish writing my book so that I can sell it, because I need to start making money, because you got to pay rent, you got to buy food, and so on and so forth. So with this system, it helps me at least make sure that I'm not losing things off that back burner. Is that tea you're drinking? No, this is coffee. This is tea. And this is tea. That one has MCT oil in it. That one's hibiscus. I'm trying to get off soda. So I have, for the past 3 days, I have replaced my soda with tea. You can still see the tea bag sitting in there. It's not hot tea. I've been drinking that at night though. But I'm not British. I'm only planning on doing 2 YouTube videos a month and making short form vids for them. Nice. Monday has already derailed. It happens, right? Yeah, and yeah, I'm in the US. It's always Tuesday. Yep. Hello. Naomi staying hydrated with all that, right? Doctor wants me to sleep more and not drink and no naps. This is hell. Oh no. You have over 400 followers now on TikTok. On your author account? Yee. Lilith Storm. Someone even invited me into a live box to talk about my book. Yay! Oh, I'm so glad. So it's working. Posting is working. I was so excited and nervous. Did you already do it, or is it coming up? You did do it? I bet you were great. Can it not be May, please? It's not May yet. I talked about it in the comments and they said, get up here and tell us about it. Yee! Yay! Oh, that's great. And so you did. I have a delay because I see chat texts answering your questions before I hear the question. Apologies if my lag means I'm off topic. I don't care if you're off topic. Do you know how often people are off topic even when they're on like they're not lagging? You're fine. I am not on topic because I am talking to people in the chat. That's why I warn when it's something random. If someone said that to me, I'd be running away from that live so fast. Get up here! Ah! Just kidding! Swipe! Missy, might I suggest that you practice at home, sitting in front of your mirror, and just practice talking about your book. And you know what? TikTok actually makes it a little bit. So there's lady. I love this lady, Molly Mahoney from The Prepared Performer. She started off in, I think she started off in like theater performance and whatnot. And then she moved into marketing, right? And she does a lot of like, here's how to feel confident live streaming and on video content. She's amazing. Anyway, so if you find her, follow her. But one of the things that I learned from her a couple of years ago is if you're not feeling confident on camera, like if you want to live stream, you know that live streaming works, you know that live streaming is for you, but you're not feeling all that confident on camera, use a filter. Now, you can't do that here. At least I don't think so. YouTube doesn't have the filters. But for like a month, she wanted to prove a point. So she was going live on TikTok and she was using like one of the cat filters that like just made a cat ears on her with like the cat nose and whatnot. And that's how she went live. And it was like goofy and silly and everyone talked about it and everyone loved it. But she was able to go live and no one said anything about it. So if you're like, I don't want to be on camera, I don't like being on camera, but I need to live stream because I know that that's working for other people and I want to try it, put on one of the, I think TikTok has that ability. And if not, Instagram does. Put on one of those filters. Make yourself a teddy bear. Like, I wouldn't put on like one of the catfishing filters. That would be ridiculous. You know, put on a filter that everyone knows is a filter that you can kind of poke fun at. You know what I mean? Like, haha, look at this. Yeah, I've got mouse ears, you know? Hanging out in Book Talkers Live and talking about other books helped me get comfortable. Yeah. Have major stage fright. As soon as someone asks me a question, my brain stops working. I know what that feels like. That's why all of my examples are like tired and like overly repeated because I can't think of examples because I forget everything as soon as someone asks me a question. Hang out in the comments and talk about books. The TikTok community is very welcome. Yes. What is your favorite book? Mine is Red Queen. Mine is whatever I'm reading at the time. Because as soon as I think of one book as being my favorite, then I remember about another book that I love just as much, but for different reasons or something. So can someone do my marketing for me so I can just write? Talk to me in a minute, Alex. But you have to pay them, yes. You want to write and blog. I mean, yeah, there are social media managers that you can pay to do your to do your marketing for you. Yes. Well, crap. Some people And I'm not saying this is a great idea. It's not a horrible idea. And I can't speak for anyone's budget, but there are some people who like use their niece or their nephew, or some of them use their kids even as like interns, and like, hey, you want to help mommy, right? So, and then there's, I mean, and that's the advantage to that, is that they know you. So they'll know like, oh, she would never say this. You know what I mean? The disadvantage is, I mean, you're not paying them and they don't have the expertise as a social media manager. So they don't always know how to tell whether or not something is good. Sorry for the reality check. But there are ways around it, and you can find, like, if what you need is budget friendly, you can find people even on Fiverr. Again, they're not the best, but they're, as long as they're not going against your brand and hurting your accounts, it's better than not having anything on your accounts. TikTok is my favorite platform to go live on. I guess I'll enjoy it while I can. Yeah, no one, TikTok, so I agree with you, Franco. It was one of the better ones to go live on. No one really knows. Sorry, I'm getting emails. No one really knows what's going to happen with TikTok right now. They kind of snuck it in there, and I'm really pissed off that they did that. That said, I still find it really hard to believe that it's going to be an all-out ban, simply because it is so popular as a home shopping network type of app, which is what it has kind of become. That's a lot of revenue. That's a lot of ad dollars. That's a lot of creators making a lot of money as affiliates. So, and whenever you're, I mean, US capitalist, whenever you're talking money, that always ends up changing the game a little bit. So keep doing it. If you're on TikTok and that's your favorite, keep doing it. Keep using it. The chances that it's going to be an all-out ban is very, I mean, it's there, never say zero, but it's very small right now. And even if it ends up being an all-out ban, it's still going to be a while before it actually happens. You have at least a year. So just keep going. And then when there's chances to vote, make sure you're getting out and voting. I live in many worlds and I don't like reality. I don't blame you, Alex. I know some people who use local high school students to help with websites and such, but marketing is a different beast. Yeah, 19-year-old son needs a job, but I don't think either would be comfortable with him promoting my book. Yeah, that might be a little different. There might be local community college students who else need their portfolio first graduation, so that might work too. Yeah. I've seen a lot of indie authors are prepping to sue because TikTok is where they are selling their books. Could be. Nothing will change with TikTok for a minimum of 9 months. And then 3-month cushion. Yeah. So dig into TikTok. Started working on your Insta account. Nice. If TikTok is banned, someone will create a TikTok-like app. Yeah. And the thing is, too, and also do not post on TikTok and say something along the lines of, go follow me on Instagram. Well, I guess this app is going down, so go follow me on Instagram just in case. Don't. That will kill your account, because first off, no app wants to promote another app. So it's already like at a limit. But secondly, as soon as you start sending people off the app, as soon as they see that video and they're like, oh, okay, and they're going to move over to Instagram or wherever, to follow you. Now you've shown TikTok, the algorithm, the bot algorithm that's not run by humans, that no one likes that video because it's driving people off the app. So you're hurting your own account by having something up there. If they found you on TikTok through your content, they will find you in other places on your content because that's the content that they like. So you don't have to have anything in your videos. You don't have to post a video saying, well, this is it. Bye. Go follow me over here. Don't do that. At best, if you're really worried about it, put it in your call to action in your profile. So it's like your picture and then it says like, come follow me on Instagram with a link to your Instagram. Okay. But that, don't create a whole video for it. You do self-harm, so what do you do to stop the addiction of doing it? Well, that's really hard because there's a lot to unpack into why some people do self-harm. And I have a degree in psychotherapy, but I am not licensed to practice, and I would not ethically be able to give you much advice in that arena because we haven't talked. I'm not your therapist. There's just a lot of things to unpack that would mean I am not the best person for you to ask. I would say talk to someone, preferably someone who is licensed in your area, and dig into why you do it. See if you can figure out what your triggers are, what makes you want to do it. And I don't mean what makes you want to do it as if like you have this desire to do it. You clearly don't necessarily because you're trying to end that. But what drives you to it? And then learn some other skills. When you figure out what those triggers are, you can learn other skills, not even just for coping, but also for overcoming, to do that. But it all starts with talking to someone who is able to listen to, and I mean talk. You don't necessarily have to talk about the self-harm itself, but just talk about yourself can help someone learn about your strengths that you may not be able to see. And this happens all the time. I am really good at figuring out other people's stuff. Have you ever noticed that? Like, it's just like, the doctor is the worst patient. And a lot of times we can look at someone, we can talk to them, and we know exactly what's wrong with them. We know exactly what they're doing wrong, or exactly what's hurting them, or what they need help with. But we can't see it in ourselves. You know what I mean? So when you're talking about yourself to a therapist, they will be able to see exactly what your strengths are. And they'll be able to show them to you in a mirror. Like, look, this made you really strong. Or look how creative you are. Things like that. And then you'll start to learn how to use those strengths to overcome everything else. I've seen lots of people saying they are working on their Clapper accounts. I don't know what that is, except Clubhouse. Don't like voice DMs, go elsewhere. So, right? Clubhouse kind of tanked. Text connect to 741-741 if you feel you are in crisis. That too. Or whatever in your country. I think that's the United States, but they have one in your country. I used to draw things on myself instead. I don't know if it helps, but I hope you get better. I hope you find help, yes. If therapy is out of your budget, lots of colleges offer free therapy. Yeah, when I was in college for psychotherapy, there was, again, in your country, I don't know, but in this country, there's like so many hours. In order to get your degree, you have to work so many hours in a clinical setting, or in a therapeutic setting rather, as a therapist. And so there are so many interns. Dang near every college that has any kind of psychiatry, psychology, psychotherapy program has dozens, if not hundreds, of college students that are interns somewhere, either in the colleges, or sometimes the colleges Oh, I'm back. Okay. Or they have, like, sometimes the colleges will have partnerships with like some of the local um practitioners in that area. That's where I interned. I interned at a drug testing facility where like employers would send their employees to get like tested for drugs and background checks and stuff like that, and we did therapy. And that was where I did my internship, was for that. So sometimes you can find that too. 741 is for United States, Canada, UK, and Ireland. Oh, okay. A lot of therapy. Very proud. Yes. See blood and feel pain. It kind of helps cope with my stress and when I am really down or sad. And I'm glad that you were able to find something that helps with your stress. Now we just need to help you find something that isn't going to harm you as you're dealing with your stress. So try that, 741 if you're feeling in crisis, if you need help. And then look at the local universities and colleges and stuff to see if you can find an intern who's going through licensing for therapy, any kind of therapy, family therapy, psychotherapy, psychology, psychiatrist. You live in India, but I know that they have, well, depending on where in India, granted, they have therapists and stuff there. I don't know but the crisis number won't work for you. Hang on. I got to look this up and then I got to run. Can someone put this in the chat, please? 91-982-046-6726. Thank you. All right. So I'm in the United States. So there is a chance that that's not fully and 100% absolutely accurate because our search results are different from India's search results. But there you go. If you need them, call them. And in the meantime, work to try to find some kind of a therapist, a counselor, or someone else that you can talk to. And specifically tell them, I need strength skills. I need strengths counseling. Because you were creative, you found a way of coping with your stress. That coping mechanism is now hurting you. It's time to find the next thing that's better. Okay. And until you find that, that's why it's so hard to not do it. Okay. So we got to replace that behavior with better behavior. That's all. All right, y'all. Thank you so much for hanging out with me this morning. I loved today. I love answering all these questions. So it means a lot to me that you come and hang out with me. We're going to do office hours this week on Thursday. So Thursday afternoon. Unf your stories on the Discord at 3:00 Eastern this afternoon. And there's sprints running all the way through until then. Oh, there's another hotline. Okay, good. All right, y'all. Thank you so much for hanging out with me, and go get all the words written, and I will talk to you tomorrow, okay? Bye.